This is a video to help you with the third assignment from Unit 5. 5.3c is for word problems. Now, the word problems, there's no new math to learn here. It's just to review how English, sentences relate to mathematical concepts. We can do this this t-shirt question just as an example, and you can see what I mean. We're going to need two equations to solve this. We're going to need an equation that models her costs and an equation that models her sales. And the reason we're doing this is because the question asks about how many shirts she's going to need to sell in order to break even. Now, the concept of break even means that she has sold as much as it has cost her to do so. So, in other words, if you look at a quick picture of what this question is going to look like, we have 325 plus 3.5x, and that would be her costs, and then she's selling them for $18 each, and that would be her sales. Now, when you look at this on a graph, you will see that her sales go up quite a bit faster than her costs do, because she's selling them for $18 a piece as opposed to $3.50, which is what she paid for them. However, she has to sell a pretty good number of them just to cover the cost of their being designed. So the question is, the break-even point would be this point on the graph here, where she has sold enough that it has caught up to her costs. If she manages to sell more than this amount, then she will make some money that she can, in this case it says she's making money to raise for research. So she'll be able to take some of that money and put it towards research, right? If she does not manage to sell this number of shirts, she's actually lost money here, right? Where she had this shirt designed and made, but she didn't sell enough of them to justify this action. Okay? We need to find the break-even point, which means we need to find the nearest t-shirt, right? We don't know exactly which number. We're going to round the decimal off, and we're looking for how do you break even here. Now, the cost equation for her, again, we're going to say something like let y equal the money and let x equal the number of shirts. Okay, so it's going to mean that for both equations. I do not know what special character I just hit. Okay, and the sales is this. Oh, sorry. Let's finish what we were doing. So the cost is going to be $325 no matter what, plus $3.50 per shirt, and that's why 3.5 is multiplying x, but 325 is not, because every new shirt she has made, she doesn't have to pay the design fee again and again. She only pays that fee once, right? Now, when you go to the one that is her sales is just 18x. There's nothing to add to 18x. Just 18x is all that you would do. Now, the nice thing about this both of these equations, right? So, okay, like what we were doing in the previous assignments, we have two equations, right? 325 plus 3.5x, and then we have. So basically, what we're trying to do here is solve by substitution, where we have that equation and this equation, right? So these are the two things that we need to substitute. Now again, the first step for substitute was isolate a variable. Now in this case, y equals 18x is already isolated, so that's fine. Step 2 was sub in the isolated stuff for y in the other equation. Okay, so the other equation is y equals 325 plus 3.5x. Sorry, I'm realizing I forgot an x there. Again, I don't want to write y. I want to replace y with a bracket. And inside that bracket, I want to write what y is equal to. Again, I'll just do the same thing I did last video. Isolated stuff. This is what I mean when I say isolated stuff. And this is where it goes, right? Where y used to be. Now all I'm going to do is isolate the other variable. Let's make a new page here so we kind of keep this organized. Isolate the other variable. Okay, so we have 18x equals 325 plus 3.5x. I want to bring all the x's to one side. And now I'm going to subtract them. Now, from here, I'm going to 14.5x divided by 14.5 to get rid of that. And I do this. Okay. Now, what is 325 divided by 14.5? The answer is 22.41. Now, normally, you would say sub in x into the other equation or into either equation to get y. But we don't need to do that in this question, because let's go back and read it. It says, how many shirts does she need to sell to break even? And we said x is the number of shirts, right? So we found x. We actually don't need y in this problem, right? X is equal to 22.41, which we know. And then the question asks us to simply round it to the nearest shirt, which is 22, right? And that's what we're going to give for our answer. If you look at my chart again, where they meet at 22.41. Again, we're supposed to round it, so we're just going to round it down to 22, which is what this is looking for. Okay. Now again, the final question is multiple choice, and it doesn't change when you take it. So I would make sure I got that one right first before I worried about 1 and 2. Right? I would take it over a couple of times until I got question 3 right, and then I would work on question 1 and 2.